This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Would-be robber shot and injured in St. Anne. An unidentified man was shot and injured by a licensed firearm holder following an attempted robbery along the Oterios bypass in St. Anne this morning. Reports are that about 6:20 a.m., the victim was walking towards Oterios when the unidentified man, who was also traveling on foot, approached him with a weapon and proceeded to demand items. During the robbery, the victim managed to pull his gun and fired a single shot, hitting the robber. The injured man is now reportedly in the hospital under police guard. Woman accused of embezzling rubies freed of charges. A woman was able to walk free on Tuesday when all 8 charges relating to embezzlement were dropped after the Crown offered no evidence against her. The woman, Kimani Holmes, appeared in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court for the first time on January 14, 2021, after she was charged for embezzling over $442,000 between August 2020 and October 2020 from Ruby's Ocean Lounge when she was employed as a cashier. The court was told that Holmes allegedly duplicated customers' credit and debit card receipts from the National Commercial Bank terminal after they made a purchase. It was revealed that she then allegedly used the duplicated receipts to attribute payment to the next customer who paid in cash and then pocketed that cash. During an audit, the deed was discovered. However, the court was told that the witness who conducted the audit resigned and has since refused to provide statement to the court, and another manager the court had relied on to provide statement had resigned as well and is also not cooperating with the prosecution. Holmes was told by Senior Parish Judge Lorian Cole Montague that Crown offers no evidence against the defendant on all 8 counts. She is accordingly discharged. Maitland denied bail. Noel Maitland, the policeman charged with murdering his girlfriend Donnelly Donaldson, was denied bail in the Supreme Court this morning. The ruling was handed down by Justice Vinette Graham Allen. Maitland was charged with murder and preventing the lawful burial of a corpse in connection to the disappearance of his 24-year-old girlfriend. Justice Graham Allen said the court believes that Maitland used his 9 years of experience in the service to learn how to conceal evidence. The judge stated that Maitland's ability to interfere with witnesses and his willingness to dispose of evidence is concerning. Maitland's plea and case management is set for February 9. More details to come. Businessman freed of ganja charges. A man who has been before the court since 2020 in relation to ganja charges was freed on Wednesday after it was revealed that the investigating officer migrated and did not complete his statement. Businessman William Dennis was scheduled to be tried in the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court for the 5th time, but the case crumbled as a result of the incomplete statement. Mr. Dennis was charged in September 2020 with a conspiracy to export ganja, possession of ganja, taking steps preparatory to export ganja, and dealing in ganja. It is alleged that Mr. Dennis went to DHL on Haining Road with 2 boxes containing bike seats to be shipped to a family friend in St. Lucia. During manual checks by employees for contraband, ganja was reportedly found in the seats. Prior to being freed, the attorney for Mr. Dennis, Courtney Rowe, made an application to have the matter thrown out on the basis of numerous trial dates without any substantial advancement of the case. Mr. Rowe argued that Mr. Dennis, who is also represented by attorney John Jacobs, has also maintained his innocence. MP angrily walks away from house ribbon cutting with a prime minister and a councillor. There was some amount of tension between politicians at an event to hand over a house in Bagwalk, St. Catherine on Wednesday. Reports are that the Prime Minister Andrew Holness visited the area and joined representatives from opposing sides of the political fence to celebrate the occasion, but minutes before Holness was able to cut the ribbon, Member of Parliament for St. Catherine North Central, Natalie Nita Headley, was captured in a video walking away.
Looking boss.
The development left several social media users speculating what was the cause of the incident. The news reached out to the MP, and she said she decided not to be a part of the ribbon cutting as she did not feel it was right for JLP councillor for the Bogwalk division in which the house was located to be there at the event. Nita Headley accused the councillor of being absent during the process to get the house constructed, and as a result, she said she did not feel it was right for him to be present during the handing over ceremony. Biker shot dead and a pillion injured in Westmoreland gun attack. A bike taxi operator is dead and the pillion now nursing gunshot wounds after they were attacked by a lone gunman who opened fire at them along the Linton Penn Main Road in Greenchail, Westmoreland on Wednesday evening. The deceased has been identified as 30-year-old Kirk Wilson, otherwise called Scrappy, of Peggy Barry Greenchail in the parish. Reports from the Savannah-Lamar police are that about 6:50 p.m., Wilson was riding his motorcycle with a pillion passenger aboard when they were pounced upon by a gunman who opened fire. The police were summoned and both men were transported to the Savannah-Lamar Public General Hospital, where Wilson was pronounced dead. The other man was admitted. Investigations are ongoing. Criminals selling government land could move to corrupt public officials, says Holness. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has pointed to the frightening ramifications if a community established by a criminal organization were allowed to stand. He was referring to the capture and the fraudulent sale of government-owned lands in the Greater Portmore Lodge area of Portmore St. Catherine that is earmarked for the development of Jamaica's first smart city. The area in question is in close proximity to the community of Clifton and was the scene of a demolition exercise last week Thursday, which saw 10 unfinished structures being torn down. This matter had to be brought to the Security Council and the central government had to deal with it because public officers were afraid of losing their lives, Holness stated as he addressed the House of Representatives on Tuesday. If this scam to illegally establish a subdivision were allowed to stand, it would have led to a massive land grab in the area. It would have facilitated the enrichment of a criminal network, and it would have displaced farmers, Holness said. Worse than that, we would have seen the establishment of a community by a criminal group. That is not the worst thing. That is a threat to the sovereignty of the Jamaican state. If we can't see this, we are in problems if we as Jamaicans don't put aside these issues about poverty and access to land and look at this security threat, he added. The Prime Minister then pointed to the situation in Haiti, where gangs are running rampant while bringing the impoverished nation to a standstill. He argued that these things happen when criminal enterprises take over property that they don't own and move to control areas. I could never allow that to stand, Holness declared, while pointing out that everyone who got land on the Bernard Lodge property would have gotten it by virtue of a criminal organization assigning it to them. And what would that say about the sovereignty of the Jamaican state, about the rule of law? To whom would the people in that settlement look to for law and order? How would they get all the amenities and the services? The Prime Minister asked rhetorically. He cited that the bigger problem was that the criminals could move to corrupt state officials to obtain land titles or otherwise try to influence the political directorate to get on board. That is how societies and the states break down, Holness said. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.